Thank you for coming. We're enjoying that we actually have a winter cool day for February as opposed to the 80-degree weather we've been having. We're very excited to be having a groundbreaking on this reservoir today. I'd like to introduce President Justin McCusker from the district to kick off the event.
I even get applause, so I thought about bringing my family here to let them know that in other places I'm viewed maybe slightly differently, but maybe not so much. So thank you so much, and welcome to the groundbreaking here for the Trampas Canyon Dam and Reservoir. As many of you know, kind of in the water community, we're a tight group, how important this is, the first reservoir to bear gone in nearly 3 decades. Very exciting time here, especially that we know that in South Orange County, we've all decided to live in this beautiful area that has just a smidge above no groundwater. So coming from the great state of Michigan where we grew up and we were told how scared we should be that the Californians wanted to build that pipeline to drain Lake Erie first, right? And we just see them all go down to come out here. They can rest assured that Santa Margarita Water District does not need the Great Lakes water. We'll build our own reservoir over here. So thank you for coming to this historic event. This asset is critical to this region, again, because there is no groundwater. This is the collaboration of many agencies, but also between Santa Margarita and Rancho Mission Viejo. About $123 million when it's all said and done. And it's going to be a critical asset for this region. Badly needed for recycled water. This also allows us to save the treated water that ultimately would be going out to the ocean. So this is a critical element for us in being a good steward. So it's not just about the groundwater itself. It's about being a steward of the resource itself and helping the environment in this area that we've all kind of grown to love and to be in. So we're here. There's a lot of electeds here that I wanted to take a moment to point out. My colleagues on the board who have worked on these projects, Director Jacobs is our vice president this year. I don't believe Dr. Olson is here, but obviously she's a legend in the water world and has worked on these projects. I don't think she made it this morning, but is important. She played an important role in this project. Director Charlie Wilson, I know, is here. Our immediate past president, Director Chuck Gibson. To show you another partner that we've recently worked with on a big project, with it being Lake Mission Viejo. We have representatives from there. We have Mayor Ed Sachs, I believe. I didn't see Ed this morning. Is Ed here?
This is a little early for Ed.
A little early for Ed? Let him know he was getting the credit, though, right? Councilman Greg Rass. Is Greg here? No? We do have my good friend Wendy Bucknam, who's taking all the credit for Mission Viejo. And Brian Goodell. Brian. Without Wendy and Brian, none of this could have been accomplished. So, from the city of Rancho Santa Margarita, my home city, we have Mayor Mike Vaughn. I saw Mike here this morning. Mike, thanks for coming. City of San Clemente, Kathy Ward. Is Kathy here? I was about to say anybody should be ashamed if Kathy made it here this early and no one else had come from San Clemente. We have from Irvine Ranch, our great partners in Irvine Ranch, Doug Reinhardt. From across the freeway, from Molten Niguel, I know we have President Don Froelich. Vice President Scott Colton. And directors Dwayne Cave and Gary Kurtz are both here. So, from Trabuco Canyon, we have Stephen Dopuda. Stephen, thanks for coming. And I'm going to take a moment here to bring somebody else up to the microphone who's far more interesting than I, but to show you a lesson I learned some time ago, having been an alumni of both the county and now of the Santa Margarita Water District, is that this unique area that we live in was because we had good partnerships between local government and the landowners that kind of built this county. And so I'm about to bring up the president and chief operating officer of Rancho Mission Viejo, who has been the critical partner in making this happen, Mr. Don Vodra.
Good morning, and I promised to be brief. Lisa promised she'd be brief too. And she's running unopposed at this point. Let's hope that continues. But anyway, good morning and welcome. Welcome to several places here. The community of Esencia surrounding us here. Los Patrones Parkway, which is right out here, that will be a continuation up to the toll road. Planning Area 3, which is to my backside. You're right at the abutment, which will be the next bridge we start constructing this summer to get to what we call Planning Area 3. And then ultimately to Rancho Mission Viejo, the wider landholding here in South Orange County. Certainly on behalf of Tony and myself and the whole team at Rancho Mission Viejo, we want to thank all of you and the guys at the district, Dan and company, for inviting us to be a part of this groundbreaking. I was going to take the time, but I've got so many of our Rancho Mission Viejo team members here. Would you raise your hand if you're with the ranch? I see Jeff Thompson here, Paul, Laura. And the one guy who couldn't be here is Richard Broming, because he's been a critical part of making this come together with the help of Dan and Don and the whole team at the district. Richard has a kidney stone, and he's at home fighting that for the last couple of weeks here. But anyway, as many of you know, this is not the first time we've all joined together to ensure the important infrastructure and the needs of the community, and in this case, the district overall are met. Over time, we collaborated on the Allen McCulloch pipeline, the Chiquita wastewater treatment plant. I was with a bank at that point in 1984, I think, when that first opened, or groundbreaking. The Gobernadora multipurpose basin, and now Trampas in terms of recycled water. So these are big-time deals. They're critical, not only to the district, but to all that we do at Rancho Mission Viejo. It's also critical because it supports our collective needs, prepares the way for families who are going to make Rancho Mission Viejo or the communities within Rancho Mission Viejo home. It's critically important today when you think about recycled water and our collective efforts for conservation of water. In today's world, certainly water and conservation thereof is critical to everything that we do. This project is going to be able to take advantage of waters that would otherwise run off to the ocean and be wasted. So I mean, it's going to fund many, the parkways, the infrastructure, the communities within the ranch here, and it's an important project. We are always proud and honored to be partners in both the public and private partnership with Santa Margarita Water District. Over all the years, and I've only been here 22, but for all the years, I think Tony's been in the business for some 50 years. It's always been an important ingredient to our success and certainly to the success of the district. So a special thank you to Dan, your team, and to your board for all that you guys do and helping make this project a great success. So thank you for having us.
Thank you very much, Don, and thank you to Rancho Mission Viejo and the Moiso family for all they've done. Thank you. So we have some other dignitaries here today who have come bearing gifts. So we have from the 36th District, we have Ronna Reardon here, and she has a certificate. Ronna, do you want to come up on stage? We also have from the Mimi Walters Congressional District, we have Christine Lathrop. Is Christine here? Come on up, Christine. From the 5th District, we have Supervisor Lisa Bartlett. And from the Assembly District, we have Assembly Member Bill Breaux. So we're going to do some certificates and then have some comments up here as well. So.
Well, it's my honor to represent, excuse me, I also am not an early morning person, so tell that to Ed Sachs as well. And I do live in Mission Viejo, and so, Justin, we do support what's going on here in Rancho Mission Viejo, and Don, your humility is overwhelming, because without the partnership with Rancho Mission Viejo and the Moiso family, this would never happen. So we do thank you, and I know Senator Bates really appreciates all that you have done. It is really a great honor for me to represent Senator Bates today. She is up in Sacramento, and Bill was able to escape, so I'm glad to see that, Assemblyman Bro, that you were able to come down and to be here. But let me just say, I'm going to read this to you because I think that we captured the essence of what was going on today. We're commemorating the initiation of the recycled water storage project here. As the largest surface water reservoir in South Orange County, it will hold over 1/2 of Santa Margarita Water District's recycled water. It also has the future potential for indirect and direct potable reuse. We truly believe that this reservoir will greatly enhance water reliability and storage capacity. And most importantly, it's a collective we, I want you all to know, it's a collective we, appreciate your innovative and courageous efforts to secure water sustainability for all the local residents. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Rhonda.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were telling me to leave. I like the rule follower.
Thank you.
Okay. Now you want me to leave?
Now you can.
Okay.
Good morning. I'm here on behalf of Congresswoman Mimi Walters of California's 45th Congressional District. Unfortunately, she couldn't be here today because she's off in DC. But on her behalf, I wanted to present to the Santa Margarita Water District a certificate of special congressional recognition in honor of the groundbreaking of the Trampas Canyon Reservoir. We congratulate the Santa Margarita Water District on this exciting milestone, and we really thank you for providing our community with this very necessary resource. Thank you so much and congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Assemblyman.
Well, good morning. It's certainly an honor to be here, not only at this wonderful reservoir dedication, but I think Rhonda described it appropriately, that I escaped Sacramento. Normally on a Thursday, I'd be getting ready for Rules Committee and floor session at 9, but I'll tell you, it's more pleasurable to be here on the ranch than in Sacramento. I have a recognition from the State Assembly. This reservoir is just another chapter in the rich history of Rancho Mission Viejo. From the sale of Camp Pendleton, one of the great Marine bases in our United States military, to the wonderful cities that the ranch built in South Orange County, and now this reservoir. Everywhere I go, I tell folks that our local water districts are on the cutting edge of technology, doing the job for our people, whether it's a desal plant, whether it's this reservoir, whether it's recharging the San Juan Creek. Our local water districts are on the cutting edge, and the state just needs to get out of their way and let them do their job. So honored to be here and present this recognition on behalf of the legislature. Congratulations to Santa Margarita Water District.
Not as tall as the guys. So it's great to be here this morning at the crack of dawn. I'm not a morning person either. I usually go to bed between like 12 and 2, so it's early for me. But it's great to be here. It's a wonderful morning in South County, and really excited to be here for the Trampas Canyon Reservoir ceremony. When Don was talking about collecting the rainwater that comes out of the sky, there's something like 40% of the rainwater actually goes out to the ocean, and when we can capture that, that's really a good thing. As it has been mentioned many times, South Orange County is dependent on imported water. We're still importing something like 85–90% of our water here in South County. We're sort of the end of the water pipeline as well. So the more we can create our own reliable source of a water supply here in South County, the better. And we've got a lot of great projects that you'll be hearing about over the next number of years that are going to be coming online so that we can create that local, reliable water supply here and be in control of our own destiny. Because when it comes to water, it's a critical thing for all of our citizens here in the county, and especially in South County. So when we're going to be able to create what we can use here in South County for water, that's a really good thing. Well, located in Planning Area 5 in Rancho Mission Viejo, the project benefits the entire region of South Orange County by increasing water reliability. As a recycled water and seasonal storage project, it will offset the need for imported water. So the more we can get away from importing at that 90% level, the better off we're going to be. As much as we do to conserve water, we need a continued focus on water infrastructure projects that include identifying new water resources and storage. The project is synergistic with other efforts to improve water resources, such as the San Juan Watershed Project, which includes indirect and/or direct potable reuse. I'm really proud of the partnership between Santa Margarita Water District and Rancho Mission Viejo, and I want to thank everyone for this wonderful pioneering project. We need more of these down here in the county and certainly more in South County. So I just want to thank everyone for their collaboration, their vision, and their leadership to make this happen. So congratulations. Justin, I'm going to give this to you.
Thank you so much.
And picture. I don't know. Where did you go?
We have the photographer coming up.
Oh, you want to go this side?
Is this my better side?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I had to figure that out in the camera.
Thank you. Thank you. So if I've missed any electeds, have we had some folks? Is that Don Chad I see over there? Don, thank you so much for coming from Trabuco Canyon. Anybody else here from any of the other water districts or cities that came kind of later? Okay. At this point, then, I'm going to bring up really the person who kind of led this effort, an incredible asset to our water district, and that's our general manager, Dan Ferens.
Thank you. Thank you. We appreciate it all to be here. We are very excited to be here for this kickoff. It's about an 18-month project from here, so we're put the place marker for end of 2019 to come back and see the final construction, what we've done. We do have a short video highlight to show you what we are planning. The site is off to the right there, your right. In the distance, you can see the slope where the existing dam is. It is an ongoing sand and gravel operation, so it makes it difficult for us to get out there right now. So that's why we're here, but we can point out to you where the site is, and then we have the video.
More than 40 years ago, a reservoir was built as part of the sand mining operation in the hills south of Ortega Highway in Rancho Mission Viejo. In 2014, Santa Margarita Water District identified the opportunity to repurpose and reconstruct the reservoir to provide additional recycled water seasonal storage for its use during dry periods. The district worked with Rancho Mission Viejo in 2017 to acquire the land and take the steps toward a new era of water sustainability in South Orange County. The new reservoir, known as the Trampas Canyon Reservoir, will hold more than 1.6 billion gallons of water. It will be the largest in the region, with a capacity to hold more than 1/2 of the recycled water the district will generate from its Chiquita water reclamation plant. Someday, it may even afford Santa Margarita Water District and its South Orange County partners in the reservoir the opportunity to reuse the recycled water for potable purposes. The reservoir represents a $123 million investment paid for through low-interest loans, grants, district reserves, and other funds. Construction has just begun. In roughly 2 years, this will be the largest reservoir in South Orange County. The Trampas Canyon Recycled Water and Seasonal Storage Reservoir, providing regional water sustainability and security for generations to come.
But this reservoir is a linchpin for us. We're working to a goal of 100% wastewater recycling and having that seasonal storage so we can produce water all winter long and store it for using it during those peak demands. The reservoir itself is 5,000 acre feet, and our demand for recycled water storage is about 2,500. So that gives us an opportunity with the additional capacity. The top 20 feet of the reservoir doubles the size of it, so that's why we went for that little bit extra. Gives us that opportunity to look at direct potable reuse and indirect potable reuse, and also for our neighbors and regional partners in the area to acquire some storage in there for their ability. South Orange County's been recycling water since the late 60s, early 70s, and we still have water going out to the ocean every day. So it does provide us that opportunity to reuse that water as many times as we can. I want to acknowledge the folks who were the team that made this project come to fruition. I'm going to start with Henry Miedema, who unfortunately passed away a couple years ago. Henry, along with John Schatz and I, spent a lot of time looking at topo maps and working out areas and trying to figure out sites for regional storage. He was an important part of the team that planned this. And then luckily for me, about 5 years ago, we convinced Don Bunce to come to the district and take over the project. If it wasn't for Don accepting that responsibility, we'd probably still be struggling a bit. He got through all the permitting, funding, environmental documentation to pull this together. Along with Don, we got the funding for this project from the State Water Resources Control Board. We'd all like a 1% 40-year loan for all our own use, but that's what the district got to fund this, along with a grant. Joey Soto, who's in the crowd, was really instrumental in helping us pull that together and ensure, with the help of the legislature, Bill Bro's office, and Pat Bates' office, to make sure the money was there and put back into the budget last year so we could get that grant. We do have a great partner in Tony Moiso and Rancho Mission Viejo. They're the host here today. We're on their land. As was noted, this is the extension of the road. This reservoir is a big part of their community, and they recognize as our partner how important it is to have recycled water. And they've also really used their resources and their talents to help us. Laura Eisenberg, who continues to help us with the environmental stuff. She's bailed us out a couple of times over the years on environmental issues. And as mentioned earlier, Richard Broming, Dan Kelly, Elise Millington, Paul Johnson, Jeff Thompson, all spent incredible amount of time and effort helping us put together this and put together the deal. And any project, obviously, is only good as a team that we have to put it together. We had a great team on this one. Brian Payne and Mike Smith with AECOM really put a lot of effort into the design and working with Division of Safety of Dams on this. Michelle Ouellette with Best and Krieger really helped with the environmental documentation. Aaron Taylor and Bob Munchik with GMU doing a lot of the soils work and continuing on with helping us in the testing of the reservoir as it gets built. Sandy Leatherman is here with Leatherman Consulting, helping with the environmental. Eric Weber with Butier is helping our Jeff McDonald. Jeff's here. Jeff works for the district as a construction manager. Between the two of them, they're heading up the team to make sure that we get this thing built. We also had help from Kathleen Brady and Jennifer Marks with the environmental documentation with SOMAS. And, we want to acknowledge, we couldn't get them down here today, but the State Water Resources Control Board with that loan, a fellow named James Garcia up there, we always talk about how difficult it is sometimes to work with state and get things. James really adopted this project and helped us get it through, and we really appreciated that effort. We can't get any projects done at the district unless we acknowledge that our administrative staff keeps us on task and getting stuff done. So we have our team here of Kelly Radvansky, Cindy Lane, and Stacy Bruno, who are really the brains of the outfit and make sure we get everything done. And we don't want to miss out on acknowledging our other partner. We joke around a lot about regulatory agencies and having to get permits and having to meet their requirements. Randy Outline Beal is here from the San Diego Regional Quality Control Board. while they are a regulator, they have been under Dave Gibson and his team, including Brandy's efforts, very helpful in getting us permitting and helping us to understand what their requirements are and how we make it easy for them to permit the project. And so it's been a very refreshing couple of years working with them on getting stuff through. So it's been nice to have a good team of folks putting together. I also acknowledge Roger Buto with Clean Water Now. He's kind of our non-governmental organization representative, helping us to understand what some of the NGO requirements are and what they're looking for, and helping us to frame how we explain the project so that it shows the need for the project, but also the environmental benefits. Just a final few folks say thanks. You know, the family of water districts, as was mentioned earlier, is important. And so we rely on the staffs of those other agencies for both advice and ideas and partnering. So recognize Paul Cook with Irvine Ranch, and Kevin Burton is here too, along with Christine Compton. For Molten Legal, I saw Jake is here, and I think Matt Collings was here. Hector Ruiz is here with Trabuco Canyon Water District, and we really do appreciate working together. We have Brian Peck representing Saukwa here today too. So we really do appreciate everybody working together and the support you get when you talk about the projects and how we can get through things. And finally, the real partner for us today is Sukit, because they've got the ball now. All the people we've mentioned so far have really got us to this point. Now we've turned it over to their capable hands. Mike Crawford is here, and Don Barnes, along with Mike Zanaboni. They were our partners, and they did a great job in Upper Chiquita Reservoir, so we're happy to have them back for an encore. This one's a little bigger and a little bigger job, but we really appreciate it, and we look forward to that partnership with them. So thanks again from the staff's perspective for everybody coming today. We appreciate it. I'm going to turn it back over to President McCusker.
So again, thank you so much for coming out for this historic event. All of you, I think we did end up almost pointing out everybody here. But that's because it takes that kind of effort to do a project of this magnitude. So thank you again, and we're all adjourned over to the photo op where we're going to put purple shovels in the ground. So thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Good job. Thank you.